When I built my time machine, I dreamed of seeing the future. I wanted to witness cities on Mars, flying cars, and maybe even immortality. But instead, I ended up in hell. At first, I didn't realize something had gone wrong. The machine jerked, the screen went black, and I woke up in a strange forest. The trees were taller than anything I'd ever seen. The air was warm, heavy, and smelled oddly clean. I stepped out of the capsule. No signal, no GPS, no sound of civilization, just wild screams in the distance, and strange shadows moving between the trees. Okay, Jake, panic is not your friend, I told myself. I started looking around. I needed to understand where I'd landed. But what I saw next was completely unexpected. A little ways from my capsule, I saw people, but not quite. They were covered in fur, with long arms, but they stood upright. One of them stood above the others, on a rock, a leader, watching, suspiciously. Where the hell am I? I hid in the bushes, watching them move. One held a stick, another carried some kind of small animal. Likely prey they had just hunted. They weren't just animals. They communicated through sounds, primitive but organized. I couldn't approach them. Speaking was out of the question. If they heard my voice, they'd want to know where that sound came from and what I really was. I froze. Between the trees, about 10 meters away from me, stood a small, primitive child. He was staring straight at me, unblinking. His body was covered with fine wool. He held a stone in his hands, and his face was almost human. And then there was a strange sound, like the shrill whistling of the wind, but with a hoarse roar. The child jumped back frightened and fell. He tripped over a root and stayed down. I immediately crouched to the ground. If he's faking it, I'll do the same. The noise was getting louder. Something massive was approaching from above. Through the thick branches of the trees, I could see a giant shadow. And there it was, Argentavis, a bird. No, a monster. A huge prehistoric bird with a wingspan of 6 meters flew right above me. Its eyes were searching for prey and its talons were ready to tear flesh. It didn't see us. It circled the trees and disappeared over the slope. I exhaled deeply. When I stood up, determined to look where the kid had been, he wasn't there. But now he knew I'm not one of them. I am not a bird, not an animal, and I'm not his kin. I didn't know what to do. I must adapt or die.